If you're thinking about moving to Charlotte, North Carolina, there are 7 mistakes I watch people make over and over again, and some of them cost thousands of dollars. I know because 16 years ago, I relocated here myself from Brooklyn, New York. I was 7 months pregnant with a teenager and with zero guidance. I made some of these mistakes firsthand. And I've spent my real estate career making sure my clients never repeat them. So whether you're moving from New York, Florida, California, or anywhere in and out of the country, stay until the end, because mistake number 5 is the one that most people don't realize until it's too late. I'm Evie DeJesus with eXp Realty. I help relocation clients, first-time buyers, and Spanish-speaking families navigate the Charlotte market with clarity and confidence. I bring a strategic, prevention-first approach to every transaction. If you want to learn more about relocating to Charlotte, specific neighborhoods, first-time buyer programs, or anything about making this move, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you're ready to have a real conversation about your move, I have placed my contact information and a link to book a free relocation consultation in the description below. All right, let's get into it. Mistake 1, not researching neighborhoods before moving. This is the most common mistake I see, and it's the most expensive one to fix. Charlotte is not one city. It's a collection of very different communities, each with its own personality, commute times, school districts, tax structures, and price points. What works for someone moving from New York is completely different from what works for someone relocating from California. Why? Because their lifestyle priorities, their commute needs, and the budgets are all different. People search homes for sale in Charlotte online. They see a price they like and they make decisions based on photo and square footage. But they're not factoring in the commute, the grocery options, the community feel, or whether that neighborhood actually fits their lifestyle. Listen, when I moved here from Brooklyn, New York, I landed in Huntersville, North Carolina, a town I'd never even heard of, but it turned out to be exactly what my family needed. Everything was like 3 to 5 minute drive away. Listen, coming from Brooklyn, New York, where a 3-minute commute gets you to the end of your block, that alone, listen, that changed my quality of life, but I got lucky. See, most people don't. And that's why having someone who knows these communities matters. So what should you do? Before you look at a single listing, get very clear on what you want your daily life to feel like. I'm talking about your commute tolerance, your lifestyle priorities, your family's needs. A good relocation agent will match you to the right area before you ever step foot in a home. Mistake number 2, skipping pre-approval or just not understanding North Carolina lending. I cannot stress this enough. If you're relocating to North Carolina and you have not spoken to a local lender before you start looking at homes, honey, you already behind. Lending programs vary state by state. North Carolina has very specific first-time home buyer programs, down payment assistance options, and loan structures that your lender back home may not even know about or may not even have access to. I've seen buyers lose out on thousands of dollars in savings simply because they use an out-of-state lender who is not or was not familiar with what's available here in North Carolina. Let me tell you, I worked with a client. He was a single father with 2 teenage daughters whose out-of-state lender, believe it or not, it fell apart the day before closing. The entire deal collapsed overnight. When I tell you we had to reset everything, connect him to a strong local lender, and restart the entire process over. Now, 8 months later, he closed on an even better home. But that's 8 months. 8 months of stress that did not have to happen. So what should you do? Get pre-approved with a local North Carolina lender before you start your search. Ask your agent for a few lender referrals. This one step alone can save you time, money, and a massive headache. Mistake number 3 is buying in the wrong school district. This one right here catches people off guard all the time. In Charlotte, school districts don't always follow the boundaries that you expect. You could have 2 homes sitting on the same street and feed into 2 completely different school systems, and the quality and rating of those schools, they can vary significantly. So if you have children or you're planning to, the school district attached to your home directly impacts your daily life and your home's resale value. Neighborhoods with top-rated schools consistently hold their value better and they sell faster. But here's what most people miss. School assignments in Mecklenburg County, those can also change. Redistricting happens. So you do need to verify current school assignments and understand the landscape, not just rely on what you see on a listing online. So what should you do? You verify school assignments directly through Charlotte Mecklenburg schools before you make an offer, not after. Now, your agent should be doing this research with you, not just leaving it to chance. So if schools are a priority, factor that into your neighborhood search from day 1. Mistake number 4, not understanding North Carolina taxes versus where you come from. Here's one that shocks people, especially my people coming from the Northeast. Property taxes in North Carolina work differently than what you're used to. In some cases, they're significantly lower. But let me tell you, lower doesn't mean simple. Mecklenburg County, which is Charlotte, has a different tax rate than the surrounding counties, like Iredell, Cabarrus, Union, or even York County in South Carolina. Those differences can add up to thousands of dollars a year. I see relocators focus entirely on the purchase price of a home without factoring in the annual tax obligation. A home that looks affordable on paper can become a stretch once you understand the full carrying cost. See, you've got taxes, HOA, insurances, and Mecklenburg's re-evaluation cycles. And if you're looking across the South Carolina border, you got areas like Fort Mill and Tegakay. The tax structures, those change entirely. There are benefits, but there are also trade-offs in terms of schools, commute, and community access. And side note, if you're looking to buy in South Carolina, I also got you there. So what should you do? Before you commit to any area, run a full cost comparison. Not just the mortgage payment, but the total monthly obligation. I'm talking property taxes included, HOA fees, and even home owner's insurance. Your agent should be walking you through this side by side so nothing catches you off guard after closing. Mistake number 5, understanding the cost of living differences. This is the one I told you to stay for. Charlotte is more affordable than New York, Florida, California, and most major metros. That's the headline everyone knows, right? But what people underestimate is where Charlotte is not cheaper. And that's what catches relocators off guard. Yes, your housing costs will likely drop, but depending on where you settle, your car expenses can go up. Why? Because Charlotte is not a walkable city, not the way the Northeast and some other states are. So here you are driving everywhere. Gas, insurance, and your car maintenance, those costs add up so fast when your household either goes from 0 to 1 or 2 cars. See, when I lived in Brooklyn, I could walk everywhere. I didn't need a car. I could take the train or the bus. I mean, literally, I can go from one borough to the next and I could walk there. There are sidewalks everywhere. Now, when I got to Charlotte, I realized quickly, if you ain't got a car, honey, you ain't got a life. The bus system and the routes here, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. Anyways, groceries, childcare, dining. Some of these are comparable, and actually some of them are even higher in some of the Charlotte suburbs. So what should you do? You build a realistic Charlotte budget before you move, not based on national averages, but based on the specific area that you are targeting. You factor in your transportation costs, childcare, groceries, utilities, and insurances. I walk my relocation clients through this comparison so there's no surprises after they arrive. Now, quick pause. If this is already opening your eyes, please drop a comment and tell me where you are relocating from. All right, let's keep this going. Mistake number 6, not hiring an agent who knows relocation. I'm going to be direct with you on this one. Not every real estate agent understands relocation. Buying a home locally and buying a home from 800 miles away, they're two different experiences. Relocation involves compressed timelines, sometimes remote decision making. You're coordinating across time zones, and there's a level of trust that only works when your agent is proactive, not reactive. I've had clients come to me. I actually had a client who came to me who told me that their agent wouldn't return their calls for like 2 or 3 days. They obviously didn't understand their urgency or the needs, and they could not guide them through the nuances of the Charlotte market. Out of that came a Spanish-speaking family who, after working with 2 previous agents here in Charlotte for a year, one was unresponsive and the other one couldn't communicate clearly in their language. These people almost gave up on the home buying process entirely. Thankfully, in December 2025, they became first-time homeowners. Relocation is already one of the most stressful life transitions a family can go through. Your agent should be your shield through that process. They're coordinating with your lenders early. They're anticipating problems before they happen. They're communicating clearly and consistently and guiding you through every decision point. It helps to work with an agent who has relocated themselves and have walked in the shoes that you are about to wear. So what should you do? Interview your agent. Ask how they handle the relocation process. Ask how they communicate and how often. Ask what happens when something goes wrong. The right agent won't just answer those questions. They'll have a system already in place. And mistake number 7, renting too long instead of buying. Listen, I understand the logic. You move to a new city, you don't know the area yet, so you rent for a year while you figure it out. On the surface, that sounds responsible. But here's the math that most people don't run. In Charlotte, an average rent for a decent 2 to 3 bedroom in a decent area is running anywhere between $2,000 and $2,800 a month. That's not including utilities. Now, over 12 months, that's roughly about $24,000 to $36,000 in rent. That money is building zero equity and it's giving you zero return. Meanwhile, Charlotte's market continues to grow. Home values in key corridors are appreciating steadily. So while you're renting to wait and see, the homes that you could have purchased are becoming more and more expensive. I have worked with a lot of first-time home buyers who tell me that they thought they honestly needed about $50,000 down to buy a house. When I connect them with the right lender, I'm not a lender, and we walk through the actual programs available in North Carolina, they realize they could have started building equity months, if not years ago. So what should you do? Talk to a local lender and a relocation agent before you sign a lease. You may be closer to buying than you think. Listen, even if renting for a short period of time makes sense for your situation, have a purchase plan in place so you're renting with intention, not by default. Those are the 7 biggest mistakes I see people make when they relocate to Charlotte. And I shared them with you because I believe that the best time to solve a problem is before it starts. 16 years ago, I left Brooklyn, New York with a teenager, an unborn child, and a decision that everyone around me questioned. I had no agent guiding me, no one breaking down the neighborhoods, the taxes, the lending, or even the cost of living. I had to figure it out the hard way. And when I tell you when I went through some horrific experiences, I'm not exaggerating. And that experience is exactly why I do what I do today. I don't just help people buy homes in Charlotte. I help them avoid the mistakes that cost time, money, and peace of mind. I help them relocate with a strategy, not just hope like I did. So if you're thinking about making this move, no matter where you are coming from, you want someone who has been where you are and built the life that you're working toward. Let's have a conversation. Click the link in the description below and book a free relocation consultation call with me. No pressure, no sales pitch, I promise. Just a real conversation on what your move to Charlotte could look like and how to do it right. And if this video helped you, please share it with someone who needs to hear it or is considering relocating. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And please, can you drop a comment and tell me which mistake surprised you the most? I'm Evie DeJesus with eXp Realty, and I'm here to guide you home. Later.